just surrounded. You won't make it out alive.
Hey everyone! Okay, so this looks like a joke. When I first saw this at Guitar Center, I totally was like, this is probably going to sound like shit. And I actually never even played it. I love the Dark Terror, the Tiny Terror, and I think those are great amps, but I'm not spending $1,000. And then I randomly was bored and I looked up this video online, just like you guys are doing right now, and this amp is not a joke at all. This amp actually kicks ass, and when I mean kick ass, it fucking bruises people. It's loud for how little it is. It's 20 watts. It takes one 12AX7 tube. This is half tube, half solid state. So the solid state part is the part that actually makes it loud. The tube part is the one that gives it the actual feel of being a tube amp. This is worth your money. I mean, for freaking sake, like I can freaking, you know, just carry it around like this. You know, I did not buy the little 1.812 or 1.8 speaker cabinet because that's way too puny. It's cute, but I want something that sounds good, and that cabinet kind of made it sound like a child. So I brought it to the big boys. So basically, all you have is your volume, your tone, which honestly I only keep between here. This gets way too, you can make it sound like a kid's amp if you put it all the way up, and then if you put it too dark, it's just way too dark. It's all preference. But your gain, and it's just of course one channel. You got your aux in, what I thought was cool because you can actually play music through it and it sounds pretty good. Your headphones, which I have not tried that yet, actually, believe it or not, and it's, you know, this is a good switch. There's a light. This is the same paint that they used for orange. It's durable. The only thing that I did not like about it was the power cable was kind of long. It's like a computer cable, but I think now that I say that, I mean, that's kind of a good thing. That's computer cable, you can get more. And then it just has a 4 ohm out. And I will play this next to the big boys. Alright, we're back. Let's turn that sucker on. And I will be playing it through pedals as well to show you that it actually handles pedals and effects pretty well. Alright, so we're going to try out the cleans. People say they don't get good cleans on this. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I thought it sounded pretty good. I mean, this thing costs $150 brand new. And believe it or not, you're going to laugh at me, but I traded a rifle for this. This really nice guy on Craigslist had this, and I asked him, I was like, hey, I have my grandfather's rifle that I probably will never shoot, and basically, will you trade for this? So it was about, you know, I got it for like basically $100, a rifle that I probably would take forever to sell, but anyway, so I traded a gun that can kill people for this little cutie. So cute. Anyway, I'm playing through an SG with a Seymour Duncan Invader in the bridge and the 492 in the neck, and then I'm playing through a 412 Mesa. I might play through the orange just so you can get the difference between the orange. They're both vintage 30s, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, so this is your cleans. You're gonna crank that. You gotta put, because the gain is equal to cleans. And see, this doesn't look like, oh, it's doing a lot of volume. The gain's volume too, so I'm just trying to get as clean as it can be, like, so you gotta have some volume. So you actually always have gain on it, just like a normal tube amp would be. And I have a high output pickup. I'll try the neck. See, now here's your it's the crybaby all the way kicked up, but it's not. I just keep it right in the middle. Honestly, they did the perfect thing to just put put that right at 12 o'clock, and that's perfect tone for me, for preference rise. Now, I'm gonna back this off and crank some of the gain. Volume up some. If my guitar's a little out of tune. SG, for some reason, does not want to stay in tune today. There we go. Back, crank the gain up a little bit more. Now if I back the volume off, somebody said that they were having problems with clean. Once again, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm going to do the bridge on the low volume, and then I'm going to go to full volume on the low volume on the neck, and then full volume on the bridge. But crank that gain all the way. Take this back side. Now I'm going to crank it halfway, and you'll see it's already. That's pretty much earplug volume right there. I think this is kind of loud for me. Now I'm going to crank all the way up and play a couple riffs really fast. See, that kicks some serious ass. And believe it or not, I've actually watched other reviews, and people were saying they got their $2,000 Marshall heads, and they use this as a backup. $150 as a backup. And honestly, I think that is the best freaking idea I've ever heard. I personally have this as my backup head whenever I finally play shows with my band. I've had it back up before for talent shows whenever I was younger. Never used it, but I use it at home in a couple mini recordings. But this is tiny. You can fit this literally, you know, in your man bag or purse, whatever, if you're female, and freaking kick ass. And that's without pedals. Now what I'll do is, like, for instance, people say you put a tube screamer in front of it, and it sounds even more badass. Tube screamers sound anything with good tubes. And and this is half tube. So I mean, I don't know how. I mean, this sounds to me like it's a full tube. Now this is just my Boss Overdrive, just halfway, but like this is without it. This is with it. This is the drive all the way up for on the Boss. Like if you want to hear some like delays. That's with a supernatural on reverb and then hardwire delay. Takes everything pretty well, and the part that I love even more is you can put metal distortions through it and make it sound even more badass. Like this is a Boss Metal Zone, for instance. Not the best pedal in the world, but I think it's pretty great. Also got to be careful with the more gain you add too much gain and too much distortion or gain with the other pedals, then it'll start muffling too much, but we'll see. Hardwire, and of course you can mess with the pedals EQ too. So this, I mean, this is just like an amp with your treble, mid, bass if you use a pedal. This one's my favorite. That's whenever you kick the gain all the way up, it kind of floods it. But that's pretty much it. I mean, this head 100% kicks ass, and I didn't even do the whole, you know, the aux in, even that. I can't really demo the headphones. I'm not that smart. But yeah, and you can see the little tube lights up. It's so cute. But if you were talking as a backup head and you wanted a cheap backup head that sounds good, and you didn't want a full solid state head, this is it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Orange Tone. The Rock Reverb is one of my all-time favorite orange amps. But I'm not paying $2,000 for that head. The Tolex is cheap on all oranges. They rip very easy. I love orange, and they're built like a freaking brick. But I'm not gonna pay that much for that tone because there's not a lot of limit. I'm more of like a mess my Huden Kettner and stuff. But I will be playing this all the time, and I mean it's amazing. I mean it's not as pure as your Valve Junior because the Valve's 100%, but it's loud. It plays very nice, and you honestly cannot go wrong with it. Blues, jazz, metal. And that's the thing. I play metal, and all these little amps usually they suck. And like even this, you crank this all the way up. It's 100%, pure tubes, but it's not gonna break up and get the distortion like you need it because it's just too. It's for 5 watts. It's already loud, but I put these pedals through it and it sounds amazing. But yeah, if you have any other questions, you can message me on comment. I usually can't reply so much because there's so many people, and a lot of them are just continuously rude. And but you can add the page that I have, a Facebook page. It's below. But anyway, have a great night. Rock on, and yeah, bye bye.